Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dirty Red Gaming. And if you're new to the channel, every Monday and every Thursday around 1 p.m. we do sneaker and tech reviews. And if you can tell by the title of today's video, man, we got another review for y'all. Well, basically, I got my top 5 PlayStation 5 accessories or must-have accessories for your PlayStation 5. If you're coming from a PlayStation 4, PC, Xbox, or this is just your first PlayStation 5, these are the top 5 accessories I think you should have for your PS5. And if you stay through the video, man, we got one more, maybe a 6th accessory that you should have for your PlayStation 5. But anyway, man, I don't want to hold y'all up. Let's go ahead and get to the video. Okay, so the very first accessory, and I think it's the very most important accessory you could get for your Sony PlayStation 5, and that's going to be storage. You have options of internal storage or external storage. Like this external storage I have right here for my PlayStation 5. I put all my PlayStation 4 games on this. It's like 1 terabyte of memory. I paid like $40-50 for it from Walmart, but you can get an internal storage. And with the internal storage, it's just like an M.2 SSD drive. I think you can get up to like 8 terabytes of storage, and you can add that to your PlayStation 5 memory, and you're able to store all your games on there. The reason I have an internal and external is because some of these that you buy, unless it's initially for a PlayStation 5, is only going to allow you to store PlayStation 4 games on it. So this is my old PlayStation 4 drive that I use, and so I just kept it and I store all of my PlayStation 4 games onto it. But my internal M.2 SSD drive, which I do have a video on how to install it onto your PlayStation 5, that has like 1 terabyte, because when you get your PlayStation 5, it's going to come with like 1 terabyte, and then out the box you may be able to use like 900 to 800 gigs depending on what version, if you got the slim or the big one. So I believe that just having extra storage for your PlayStation 5 is just as important as having a PlayStation 5, because once you get your PlayStation 5, man, you're gonna get maybe Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, Grand Theft Auto. You usually can only store like 4 to 5 games on it until you run out of memory. Then you're gonna have to uninstall games just to play games. And the one thing I like about the PlayStation 5, when you get the subscription, every month they give you free games, and a lot of those free games are PlayStation 4 games. So you want to take those games and save them to your PlayStation 4 drive. Or if you do get an internal SD drive, you want to get like 2 to 3 gigabytes so that you can just store all your games on the drive and not have to use any space on the console itself. So the very first accessory, man, is going to be internal or external drive. And if you have an external drive, man, get you some Velcro. Quick little tip: I take this Velcro, stick it on here, then I put it on the back of my PlayStation 5 so that it doesn't move anything, because these little cords do get flimsy over time. I've had this for a while, but that's only because it sits still on the PlayStation 5 with the Velcro. But nonetheless, man, my very first accessory, like I told y'all, was going to be storage, internal, external, M.2 SSD drive, at least 1 to 2 terabytes. They should run you like $100. Sometimes you can catch them on sale for like $50 to $75. These Seagates run like $45-50, but you could only store PlayStation 4 games on there unless you get one specifically for the PlayStation 5 that allows you to store PlayStation 5 games on it. So let's go ahead and get into the next accessory. Okay, so the next accessory you want to have, and this is a must-have, and this is going to be headset, a gaming headset. If you're coming from the Sony PlayStation 4, you're probably used to the plug-in type of headset that allows you to plug your headset into your controller and you put it over your head. That's pretty cool coming from a PlayStation 4 to a PlayStation 5. But right now the PlayStation 5's controllers allows you to talk into them. They have microphones and they have speakers that allow you to talk into them. So you don't really need to, use this anymore. If you're gonna get you some headset, man, grab you some wireless Bluetooth headsets. If you want to start off with some Sony Pulse 3Ds, or you can get the Elites. I also have the H9, the Sony H9s up there. So man, the next accessory you want to get, man, is some gaming headset. If you plan on playing multiplayer games, a headset, a good gaming headset is a must-have. They don't cost that much. Most gaming headsets start out at like $30. I think I paid maybe 50 or 60 bucks for these right here. I don't use them anymore because they're simply wired and the wire gets in your way. And if I'm going to use something, I would probably use just the controller itself with the microphone and the speaker. But you don't want to do that, man. You want to be able to talk and the people hear you clearly when you're playing, especially in the multiplayer games. So the next accessory that you must have for your Sony PlayStation 5 is going to be some gaming headset. Make sure to grab your pair of gaming headset. If you could, Five Below has them for $5. You could get them, I mean, pretty much get gaming headsets anywhere. It just depends on how much money you got, what you're trying to spend, and just start out small, man. You could probably grab you some Pulse 3Ds for like 60, 70 bucks right now on sale because they do have the new Pulse Elites out. So get you some gaming headsets. That's the next accessory you must have, gaming headsets. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. Okay, so the next must-have accessory for your Sony PlayStation 5 is going to be the Sony DualSense Edge controller. This is a must-have. I know you're probably going to get a controller that comes with your PlayStation 5, and you may buy other controllers, but once you get this Sony Dual Edge controller, man, you're not going to need another controller. For one, I've already done a review on it, but just a quick, snippet of what you're going to get, man. You're going to get a cord, charging cord. You're going to get these accessories, these little extra knobs that come onto your analog controllers or whatever. It comes with replaceable knobs and things like that. You have paddles at the bottom, and this controller is fully customizable, man. You can customize it to do whatever you want. It doesn't even, I haven't had any issues. The only issue you're gonna have with is battery life, which is not that good on it, but outside of that, man, you can map all of your controllers. If you want to put your triangle button right here as a paddle, you can do it. If you're playing a shooting game and you're not comfortable shooting right here, you can map your shooting button to here. When it comes to stick drift on these analogs are totally replaceable. Let me see if I can take one out. But you can take this off, and then if this breaks, you just swap it out. You just go and pay 20 bucks instead of buying a new controller. You swap it out for a whole nother module or whatever. But I totally recommend the DualSense Edge controller. If you're a hardcore gamer, if you're just a casual player, then But I want to consider myself a hardcore gamer. But this really gives me the edge when it comes to gaming. I was able to change the sensitivity of my analog stick so that as soon as I touch it, my guy moves instead of it being like some sort of latency or just a lack of movement. But everything on this controller is customizable, man. Everything. You have these switches on the back that controls how fast you can, trigger and things of that nature. You switch them up and the controls go down. So it's just so customizable, man. Once you get this, it is 200 bucks. It's a little pricey, but I think this is the equivalent of buying maybe 2 or 3 controllers. But outside of your regular controller, this is probably a must-have. I will say you must have this if you're a highly competitive gamer, man. I really recommend it. So for me, this is going to be like the third necessity, third accessory I think you should have. It comes with this cool case, and you can also, charge it. It has a little hole that you can plug it in to charge it. So I think it's worth 200 bucks. I'm not even gonna lie. So for me, another must-have accessory would be this DualSense Edge controller. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. Okay, so for the very next accessory, the very next must-have accessory for your Sony PlayStation 5 is going to be a charging station. I was really against these things, man. I really just didn't think that they were necessary. I found them useless for the most part. I want to say I got this for free. It came as like a bundle or something like that, and I just threw it off to the side. And then when I started buying more controllers and getting different controllers, I started to realize how much I needed it. When you're gaming and you don't have the time to sit and charge your controllers, these are just good to just throw the controller on there, just let it sit. I think you could get these for like $5 at Five Below, or you can get them on Amazon for like $9, $10, $15. Depends on what you want out of it. But for me, this is a good accessory to have when you have multiple controllers. What I like to do is throw 2 controllers on and let them charge up, and then use those 2 controllers, put 2 other controllers on it, let those charge up so that I never have a dead controller. And if my controller is dying, I just grab one off of the charging, base or whatever, and just turn it on and put my dead controller on it and just let it charge up. So I really do think that this is a necessity, man. Go out and grab you one. It's micro USB port. You can plug it into any of your USB ports that you got. And I really use it. I really like using it. I charge all my controllers up, make sure that they all charged. If they die, swap it out, throw another one on, let it charge up while I'm gaming from a fully charged controller. So I think this is a must-have necessity. Some of them have two. You can buy bases for your PlayStation 5 that has the chargers on it as well. But this is a little bit close because it has a cord. I can keep it close to me, so I don't have to get up and move around looking for a charged up controller. So, like I said, man, I recommend you getting you a charging base for your Sony PlayStation 5. That's the next necessity that you should have for your Sony PlayStation 5. If you have multiple controllers, get you a charging base. So let's go ahead and get into the next thing. Okay, so the very next accessory that you must have for your Sony PlayStation 5 is a USB Type-C splitter. I originally had the regular USB splitter for my Sony PlayStation 5 on the bigger PlayStation 5 because they had a port in the front. But when I upgraded to the Slim, I had to get the USB-C type cord, so I had to get another one of these. I think I paid $15 for this, but you can grab these off of Amazon. And basically what it does, it gives you more ports for USB. Right here you can see I have my dongle for my headset, then I have an extra in here, extra in here, extra in here. So what happens is, because I stream and game, I have a camera plugged up into the back. Like I told y'all earlier, I have extended storage plugged up into the back, and those are the only two USB ports that you get. The next two is going to be USB-C in the front, and then another USB-C in the front that I use for just an extra cable. I may want to charge my phone or something like that, so you only get these two options. So I need the extra USB ports. This is going to be very important because what happens is, you just like you want to plug up the charging station. Okay, I can take that charging station, plug it in here. I can take my headset and plug it up here. If I got something else that needs to be USB, I can plug it up here also, and it can all run off of your PlayStation 5. So I truly recommend you going out and find one of these. They're like $14. You probably can get one for $9 off of Amazon. You could get one with bigger or more ports. This has 3 on the side and then one at the top, but you also want to make sure that they're USB 3.0 so that they can run all of your accessories, anything that you put in here. Like I believe this is a 3.0, but this runs off of 3.0 also. So you want to make sure that it does format, unless you're just going to have chargers, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure that there are 3.0 USB ports. So for me, this is a must-have. This is probably one of the first things I grabbed was more USB ports, because I have RGB lights that I plug into this that light up my stands and things of that nature. I also plug my charging base into this, and it charges up my controllers. My gaming headset, I plug that in as well. So, you know, if you need to charge your phone, anything like that, you could throw something in here. You know, you may be charging up your controller while you're gaming. That's kind of what this is for, outside of charging up your phone. So I do recommend you getting this USB splitter. Make sure it's USB 3.0 so that you don't have any issues with the things that you connect. So I want to say that's it, but I'm not going to say that's it. I got one more, so let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, so for my 6th, and I just kind of was undecisive about this, but I'm gonna throw it in there, man. Anyway, I think this is a must-have accessory, and that is the Sony remote player. I've had it since December, and this is like, it's not a must-have, but it's a good to have if you travel a lot and things like that. Man, it's just a remote player that allows you to play your Sony PlayStation 5 on the go. If you got great connection at home, and you just want to get on and just have some fun if you're out of town traveling, the remote player, the Sony remote player, man, this is a must-have, man. It's $200. It's about the same price as the DualSense Edge controller, but I think this is a good accessory. It's really just an extension of your PlayStation 5. You connect it to your PlayStation 5, and you just pretty much play your PlayStation 5 on the go. I've done a review on this. I've done maybe 2 reviews on it, and I really enjoy this. I didn't think I would need it as much, but when I find myself on the go a lot, it allows me to just jump in, game a little bit, play a few games, and then, you know, run some missions on Grand Theft Auto, run through some stuff on NBA 2K. I could play a game of Madden on here with a friend. I mean, you could pretty much do everything you wanted to do on your PlayStation 5. You could do it right here because it's remotely connected to your PlayStation 5. So I want to say this is a runner-up. This is probably the 6th accessory that I think you should get, but you don't have to have it. I mean, it's not a necessity that you have to have, but it would be a good gift if someone was to get it for you. I really recommend getting a Sony remote player, man. So that's really all I got, man. My top 5 accessories that I think you should have for your Sony PlayStation 5, with this last one being the remote player, or really just the 6th one. But man, if y'all made it this far, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Dirty Red Gaming. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the video, and tell me what, tell me some accessories that I might have missed. Tell me something that y'all using that I may not have. So anyway, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in, man, and I'm out.